Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Precious and I'm a recovering procrastinator. If you guys are here for my last couple videos, you would know that I'm currently on a journey of changing my life and today is no different. We are gonna get creative and create our own stationery using Adobe Illustrator. In my last video, I walked you guys through my 12-week year Notion system that I'm using to write down my dreams, map out my goals, and figure out all the tasks I need to do in order to make my dreams a reality. In the past week or so of me using it, as much as I love my Notion template so far, I can admit that nothing beats pen to paper. I personally really miss the tangible connection I had with my goals when I'm able to write things down and check things off. So I decided that I'm going to be creating a weekly planner pad. I don't want to replace my Notion template. If anything, I just want to be even more organized than I already am and give myself space to really map out my weeks and reflect on what I have done, what I could do better, and just, you know, be creative because honestly, I've been wanting to make this planner pad for a while, but I've just been procrastinating and not acting on my ideas. So to challenge that, I'm only going to give myself 1 hour today to create as much as I can of this planner pad so I can start, you know, acting on my ideas. This is the Pinterest board that I created for this project. I named it Plant It Out, kind of like Plan It Out, you know. But I'm inspired by nature a lot of the times. I like to think of myself as a gardener of my life. So that is the angle I really wanted to play into with my planner pad. Fruits, vegetables, flowers, gardening, lots of greens, yellow, maybe some pinks and purple. Little touches of red, but I found that I'm really intrigued by these silhouette shapes of the fruits and vegetables, and I'm interested in how I can play into that in the overall design. And I really want to keep the design simple. At the end of the day, this is a planner pad, and a frustration I have with other planner pads that I've had in the past is like there's so much design going on. I don't feel like there's enough room for me to like really write things out. So I really want to be intentional in that. So, you know, keeping it black and white but pops of color, that is the overall mood I'm going for. But that and paired with like silhouettes of fruits, I think this is going to be like a really yummy concept to play with. Now that that's all figured out, I'm gonna go ahead and set a timer on my phone for 1 hour and we're gonna start designing. To save myself some time, I already went ahead and picked out like a couple colors and some fonts that I can use in this project. So I already know that I want a title. And I'll probably just keep that in the center. I really like to start my week with some weekly intentions. So under my title, I want to give myself a space where I can write out what is the overarching goal or intention for the week. So I'll do that and I'll make a line that I can write on once this is printed out. And I'm gonna call that weekly seedings, keeping in the garden theme. And let's group that and center it. I'm not sure what I want to call my planner pad yet, so I'm just gonna keep the title blank and I'll go ahead and start adding the days of the weekend. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you guys start your week on Monday or do you guys start your week on Sunday? I like to start my weeks on Sunday, but I do know people who don't do that or think that is strange. So I'm curious, do you guys start your week on Monday or Sunday? Let me know in the comment section, please. And I think I want to add a line of separation in between each day of the week, just to keep things crisp and clean. And I'm gonna add a line to the end of my artboard so that I can group everything and align it like so. And before I get too deep in designing, I want to make sure that I'm setting myself up for future success by naming my layers and keeping everything clean. So I like to take everything outside of my outside of my artboard. I like to take everything outside of my artboard and give it its own separate layer. I name it junk. I shouldn't. I think I should think of a more intentional name, but I don't have one right now. But if you guys organize your layers and have a better, more nicer name, let me know so I can be inspired by you. So then I also want to have a separate layer. I think I'm gonna break this design in 3 separate sections. So I'll have my header, I'll have my days of the week, and then at the end of the week I would like to create a space, and I can put that at the bottom of my overall design where I can reflect on my week, figure out what's working for me, what's not, and just a moment of gratitude. So I'm going to create 3 layers. So this will be header, this can be weeks, and then I'll add one more section for reflect. Low-key, I think I want to name my weekly planner pad. Let me make sure that my alignment is centered. I think I want to name it Plant, Tend, Reflect, because ultimately that's what I'm doing with this planner pad. I'm planting my seeds for the week with my intention. I'm tending to it throughout the week with my weekly plans, and then I'm reflecting on it at the end of the week. So I kind of like that name. And I think I'm going to reflect that inside of my layers by naming them accordingly. So the header can be plant, the weeks can be tend, and the bottom I'll keep it at reflect. And to even further keep myself organized, I'm going to organize within my layers. So I'm going to make a layer for my vertical lines, and then I'm going to create a layer for any text, which is the days of the weeks. And if I am happy with this, how the vertical lines are right now, but in case I need it later, I will take these 2 and temporarily just hide the sections. I like how this looks so far. I'm debating how I want to structure the inside of my days of the week. I could leave it blank and leave myself a lot of room to just write whatever I want, or I can give myself a little bit more structure, or honestly I probably need something in between. So I think I'm going to give myself like 3 bullets to write down 3 priorities per day of what I want to focus on. So let's make a little circle. Do I like the size of that? Yeah. Let's make 3 of them. And I can go ahead and align them. I want more space. I can leave the top, I can make it structured to where the top half can be for my weekly priorities, my daily priorities, and then the bottom I'll leave blank to where I can just write little notes for myself or note things that I can also do throughout the day that are outside of my 3 priorities. Just, I want to leave that space free for me to just use as I see fit in the moment. Actually, I'm also going to add lines because I do tend to like that type of structure in like planners and things like that. So let's make a separate layer inside of the tend and call it H lines for horizontal lines. And I'm going to bring it all the way to the bottom. So I copied and pasted this horizontal line I already had in weekly seedings. And I think I want it to start here and end about there. And to make this easier on myself, I am going to actually go to Object, Blend, Make. And though this looks crazy right now, we're gonna fix it. So blend option, steps, and then the lines in between, I think I want to do 7. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, because I do have big handwriting, so I think I'm going to make it 7. I want to give myself a little bit more room to actually write inside of it. So we're gonna go back to option blend and let's try 10. Yeah, I might do 10 because then I can take maybe like 2 lines per priority to write on. And then I can just leave the rest to whatever I want to talk about. And again, keep it organized. I'm going to go ahead inside and make I'm gonna make a layer for my dots. I like how this looks so far. I don't like how harsh these vertical lines are, so let's bring that down to like 12%. Maybe a little bit lower actually. And I'm doing the opacity on my overall layer because I don't tend on adding any other vertical lines in this section, so I should be good. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that opacity being like that. Then I can go ahead. Is that enough lines for myself? Well, let me go ahead. I don't want to use the whole letter paper size that I'm going to be printing on. I do have a paper cutter, but I also have a Cricut machine, so maybe it'd be an opportunity where I can use that to make it like a funky shape if that's not too crazy. I don't use my Cricut machine as much as I really should, so I don't know how comfortable I am with that, but also I am really curious about experimenting with that. But for now, we're gonna just crop this just a little bit, and I can always add and subtract them. Save as you go, guys. But yeah, I can always add and subtract as I go, as long as I don't go over letter paper size. But for now, I think I want to do maybe like 7 inches. And let's just bring everything down a bit. I don't want to get ahead of myself with color right now or other design elements. because I really want to focus on functionality right now. So I'm gonna, but to prepare for myself, because I'm gonna want a little bit of color to make it visually interesting and just fun for myself. I'm going to make a background layer, and I think I want some color in this header section. For now, I can make it like a light gray because I'm not sure what exactly I want to do there. Maybe I'll go to my inspiration and see if there's anything in there that I want to play with. But I like this so far. I almost want to add like an affirmation for myself. I don't think I want to change how my header looks, so maybe it's in the reflection part. Let's ungroup this, take the line out, and what can I say? I'm trying to think what affirmation I can write to myself that's still like gardening themed. Oops, did I get rid of that line on accident? Okay, let's actually pull from up here for that, and I'll put it in the reflective section. I'm gonna actually lock this top layer because I'm happy with it right now. I do want to put like somewhere towards the bottom, maybe like a little affirmation for myself, though I'm not sure what I'd want it to be yet. But let me just go ahead and start moving these dots over to the other days of the week, and I'll align everything later. But for now, I probably could have just did a blend mode. The object blend here too, but that's like one thing I really love about Adobe. There's like 50 different ways to do the same thing. So I think I'm happy with this so far. I might later want to go in and add color at the bottom. I don't know if I want to like border it up a little bit, maybe here. Let's actually just align this to the edge and see. And let's make it even on the other side. Though I don't want to get in the color yet, I'm gonna get in the color because I just know that will just bring this design to life. And I actually do like this green. I actually like this green, but I don't know if I actually want the borders. I don't think I do. Let me just like tweak this a little. And I think I want to move this up a little bit. And take these vertical lines and bring them down a little bit to like here. I think it's cute so far. so far I still have 42 more minutes, so I'm really good on time right now. That's like kind of the funny thing about like finally doing things that you've procrastinated on, because once you do it, you find out like it really doesn't take that long, and you just were too in your head to get started. But I think now that I'm happy with how my top, the plant section looks, and I'm so far happy with how the 10 section looks, I'm gonna lock those layers just so I don't mess them up and save my file. And then I'm going to get into my reflections. So let's grab a header from up here and bring it to the reflection section. Color it black for now. And I think I want to call, I'm trying to think of like a subheading that's like kind of like garden-esque that I would like to put in this section. I think I want to call, like, I envision this bottom portion as like questions I can ask myself at the end of the week once everything's done, to just see like how I'm feeling about the week, like my wins, my losses, and what can I do better next week from what I learned this week. So maybe I want to call it my growth log. I think I want to call it my growth log. Let's lock the background for now. I think actually I want to make this weekly planning a little smaller, because I think I need more room for my growth log. So I'm gonna select this actually and bump this up, and I'm going to select my vertical lines and make those higher. Maybe not that high, maybe like here. Then I'm gonna unlock my background layer and bring this up a bit. And my growth log here. Let's center everything here. And because now my dots are off, I think I'm gonna go into object again and blend, go into the options and play with how many lines I want to do. Maybe I'll go back to 7. Actually, I'm gonna make it 8 because I have 3 priorities and I want to make at least that portion even, still giving myself room to have 2 lines to map out each of these goals. So we're just gonna bump this down a little. Then locate, I'm going to temporarily like group each of these, select them all, and align. Then I can, actually I don't mind keeping them grouped. I think I'm gonna keep them grouped in rows. I'm liking how this is looking so far. I'm still not sure. I kind of want to think of like a little affirmation or something I can say to myself. Or actually no, I'm going to now focus on like the questions. I think I want to ask myself maybe 5 questions. I'm thinking 5 right now. And going back and thinking about my inspiration, I think it would be nice to bring in those organic fruit, flower, vegetable, leaf shapes, and I can add inside my reflective questions and just write in there, and that adds also like more visual interest. So maybe I'm gonna make some fruit. Let's also organize my layers again. So these are, let's lock the background, reflection, text. Then I'll make another layer and I'll call those outlines, or maybe I'll rename that to silhouette. But what fruit should we add to this section? What kind of garden do I want? Do I want fruit? Do I want vegetables? Do I want flowers? Because I said fruit first, I think I'm gonna make some fruit. So usually when I make illustrations, I will use a reference photo, but I kind of want to see what it would look like if I just use shapes. Yeah, let's challenge ourselves, because I don't think I've actually really done that before. So I think my first shape, I'm gonna make a strawberry. So I'm gonna start with a circle. Then I think I'm going to take this bottom anchor point and drag it out a bit, like so, and let's like shorten this a little bit, like that. I think that looks like a strawberry shape. Y'all let me know if that looks like, let me know if y'all think these look like whatever they're gonna look like. And then for a leaf, I think I'm gonna use a square. And I'm gonna take these two anchor points and bring them into maybe like here. And I'll take this bottom anchor point and curve it a little bit. I think that's looking like a leaf. Bring that in just a little bit here. I might want to bring this in actually. Oops. Oh, that works too. Let me save that as like a version maybe, so I can compare which one I like more. But I actually do like that too. This one looks a little more like boxy compared to the other one. Then let's bring this in like that. And I think they look like leaves. They kind of look like seeds also. But I think if I like take it and then copy and paste and reflect it, and I can play with the placement and maybe even like resize a little bit and rotate. I think it's looking pretty strawberry-esque. Or low-key, it kind of looks like a carrot. Looks like a strawberry. Let's like take this and make another copy, and I'm for now gonna group it. If I end up loving it, I will go to Pathfinder and unite everything, but I still want to play with it, so I'm just gonna group it for now to keep everything together. And like, let's resize and make it white. Have more fruits, like a line of fruit. I think that'd be cute. I like it so far, honestly. And what other fruits should I make? think next to my strawberry, I'm going to make an apple. So maybe I can take this part of the strawberry and make its shape that way. I think I'm gonna need 3 of these. So let's take one of these. I wrote and reflect it like so. And I think I want like a tighter fit, kind of like that. I might want to align this too. Oops, actually I'm going to take this center one. Oops, and bring it to 0 so it's straight and the other ones are like slightly slanted. I like that, but I kind of also want to try to make an apple that is more tighter, not so wide. So I'm gonna play with this. I kind of want to see what it will look like even tighter. I think I like that most. So just in case I don't like it, I like to make as many duplicates as possible while I'm designing things, in case I group things and I can't get it back. So I just like to keep my rough drafts, or at least until I don't think I need them anymore. So I'm gonna copy that. Then I think I'm going to actually unite all the shapes together, and to make the part of the apple where my core will sit in, I think I'm going to take the eraser tool and size it accordingly to where the circle meets at these 2 anchor points as best as I can get it, like so. I like how that looks. And then I'm gonna take these 2 anchor points just to like smooth everything out and round it like that. And then I think I'm gonna use the brush to make like a freehand little core. I don't think I like that, but let's save that. But like a little arch one, keeping it simple maybe. And then I can take this leaf right here that I made previously, and I can't size it down like this, so I'm gonna just expand it so that, try to expand it, or not. Okay, let's try with this leaf. I'm going to expand it so I can size it down. Okay, I'm gonna have to unite it, then size it down. Like that. I think it's cute. I think the stem can use some work on my apple. Or low-key, I kind of want to rotate it to go the opposite direction. And maybe I want to thicken that up, not that thick. Or maybe play with this. Oh, I just realized that is rounded. So maybe play and see how these look. did like how it looked when it was rounded like that. I think it's a cute little apple. I think I do want to make that thicker. Not as thick, maybe like that. And let's take that, copy it, paste it into our fruit layer. Group it for now in case I realize that I don't like the stem or the leaf or anything like that. And let's, oops, just the stroke. And then we have an apple and a strawberry. If I want each of my fruits to touch or not, or maybe I want it to where it's like barely touching so they're kind of like connected. I kind of like that. Like so. I don't know if I want to like tweak the strawberry or not. Just to like give it a little variety. I think that's cute. And then, oops, my questions can sit inside of there. And then for reflective questions, let's see if we can think of a couple. I want them to still like fit in like a growth, fruitful garden type of jargon. So maybe like for the first question, I can ask myself, where did I see new growth in myself? I think I'd like asking myself that. What center? Why not? Like so. I think that's cute. Actually, low key, I think I want to go back with a thicker apple, which is awesome that I saved all of these because I want to see if I like this one instead. So I'm going to copy and paste it and Pathfinder, unite them, go in again with my eraser tool and try to get between these, maybe making it bigger. Oops. Then when I get it to a spot that I like, erasing that part. Selecting both of these. Oops. I'm not sure why I can't round that. Let's try that again. So, and take it here. And then I can curve that to make it cleaner. And I can take the same core and leaf for my thinner apple. And let's see if I like the thicker one better. I'm actually not gonna delete it. I'm gonna go to Object, select Hide. Take these, and I actually am going to expand the appearance on this one since it's a copy. And I'm not gonna actually do that part, but I'm not gonna unite it. But I am going to make sure that it's on the right layer. Paste it, turn it white, and play with positioning and size and rotation. Making sure that I have room to actually write inside of these, and because this can be a question where I might want to say a lot more, I do want to use a thicker apple so I can have as much room as possible inside of the white before I get into the green. But so far I really do love my planner pad. And let's think of another question that I can ask myself in my growth log at the end of the week that I can put inside of the strawberry. So, maybe I know I want to ask something. I want to ask something to myself about like weeding things out. Kind of like in a garden where you have weeds that you need to pull. I can kind of ask myself like I want to ask myself something about like the adversities that I'm facing, or like, you know, I do struggle with like negative self-talk sometimes. So that's something that I am actively working on weeding out. So I want to center it around that actually. So what thoughts or habits need weeding out? I think I like that. This up a little bit and use the top as my opportunity to write, since there's more space up there. I think it's cute so far. Low key though, I also do want to potentially play with, for the background, gradient. I know that I had a piece of inspiration on my Pinterest. Let me see if I can find it. Of, yeah, this notepad with this green and the gradient pink, blues and greens, and a white accent. Like, I think that'd be really pretty down here, maybe even in both sections. Let's try that out. So I'm gonna go to gradient. I'm going to select the background layer, go to gradient, and then I'm gonna play with freeform gradient. And let's add some of my other colors here. Let's get some pink. Let's get some yellow. I want this green to be the same hue that I used up here. I'm trying to avoid this like gray area, so I want to be mindful in how I transition each color. But even like this just green and yellow together, I really like that. Actually really like that. Let's see. But I want to keep some pink because I love pink. know that like when it comes to using freeform gradients, I can play with this literally all day. So I don't want to get too boggled down on that, but for now, I like how this looks, but I know that I'm gonna play with it later. I just don't want to use all my time on that. And then with my header, I actually want to bring this higher a bit, like that. And in case, oops, look at my background for now. In case I do want to write something out that's a little more lengthy, let's bring that line out and center it. I like how it looks so far, honestly. And low-key, I am curious though, like if I'm gonna want to do gradient on top also. I like it. I actually like both. I like it flat out green, and I do also like using a gradient. I'm curious what it looks like without the pink or purple, shall I say, lilac. I kind of like that also, but I do want more color, honestly, so let's play with that a little bit. Let's add some white to it. Actually, I want to play with it on top because I know I'm gonna be writing in this area. So let's bring some white here, some green, still playing with what colors I want to use in the end result. Let's add a little bit of blue also. Maybe this like darker hue of green too. I do like how this looks so far with the gradient. I think on this layer, I'm gonna duplicate it, and just so I have this other gradient saved that I do like this two-tone, but so I can give myself an opportunity to just play more. I don't think I want the gradients to necessarily mirror each other like it is right now. I think I want to continue just playing with where I want each color to sit. More green here. Get some yellow here. Also being mindful of like my fruit outlines, I do want to make sure that I'm not going to make any area too white because the fruit is white, and I want the gradient to like amplify the fruit, not blend into it. But I'm running out of time. I most likely will just work on this some more off camera, but I think I'm going to just add an orange. Oops. Something simple that we can do before I wrap this video up. Go into this gradient. just get rid of the white down here. Like so. And for this question here, I can ask myself a self-care type of question and say, how did I nurture myself this week? Center align that here. And then I think I'm gonna stop right here. I still have 10 minutes left, but I want to really give myself more time to think of like what fruits I'm gonna do. But I'm really happy with the direction that this is heading in so far, and I'm excited to finish this. And I think I'm gonna make this a little series where I make more stationery for myself. So next week I'm thinking like maybe I can make some stickers, or maybe some like memo pads for that I can also use with my planner pad. I like that idea. If you guys stayed to the end of this video, thank you so much. I know it's a long one. I hope you guys had like a snack or something, and if you're a creative, we're creating with me while I'm doing this. But thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you stayed to the end, leave me a little fruit emoji and let me know how you're nurturing yourself this week. But I'll see you guys again next week. Bye.